Painful Wisdom Day Free. So today's going to be about a sacrifice. Sacrifice in relationships. You see, a couple days ago, I think, perhaps it was even yesterday, I watched an episode from my favorite divorce lawyer, James Sexton. I mean, he's pretty famous. He's been on a lot of podcasts this year. And in this podcast episode, he and the people who are just part of his crew, they talked about how people, when they commit to relationships, they sacrifice novelty for monogamy, right? They sacrifice all the experiences that they could potentially have because they believe that the person who they have right now, that the value that they will gain out of the relationship with this person is going to be greater. And I had a laugh when hearing this because on paper, this looks amazing, right? But in reality, I see so many people sacrificing their future for a person that they do not even love, that they do not even love properly. You see people sacrificing novelty at young ages or simply without even thinking that much just because they think that that's the right thing to do. But if you look at the majority of these people who are making the sacrifice, have they even analyzed that the value that they're going to get from the relationship that they're right now committing to is even greater than the novelty that they could be seeking? Because I think a lot of people, especially nowadays where, a lot of things are just superficial and people just don't think that much about topics with deeper meaning that much anymore. And I mean, it also shows in the quality of relationships, right? There's a reason why relationship dissatisfaction is so fucking high nowadays. But I think that a lot of the sacrifices that are being made for relationships nowadays are actually just pretty stupid. Because you give up on all the future experiences you can make for a relationship that is not even that good, that is more mediocre. A relationship that after a couple months will fail anyways because you don't know how to put the effort in, or because you're just not that good when it comes to communication or emotional regulation or figuring out what you really want in this life. I mean, I see it so often around me. So many relationships of people I know, but also people I do not know that well, just fail. And in the meantime, these people sacrifice the novelty and all the other experiences they could have. But for what? For monogamy? I understand the principle behind it, and I actually support it if the purpose behind the monogamy is actually supportive of a better life, a better overall life quality. But that's just simply not the case for most people. They have monogamy, okay, but what are the benefits? They have a shitty relationship, a shitty partner. When they feel stressed, their partner is not even there to help them because they don't know how to communicate properly or engage with each other properly or to bond on a deeper level properly. For example, if the phones then have to be put away, or when it's not about substance abuse, or when it's not about, these superficial topics. Where's the connection then? It seems to be not there. It seems not to be there. So yeah. Oh, light just switched off. And it's going back on again. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that today because if you're in a relationship and you think about sacrificing novelty for monogamy, like it was discussed in this podcast, make sure that the sacrifice is worth it. Because what are you left with if it's not? What are you left with if you have the relationship but it's then shit and then ends up to be a disaster and you waste all the years you could have had as to figure yourself out. And then potentially find, somebody who's actually good for you and, you can actually bond with on a deeper level. So yeah.